Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, NBA fans who are subscribed to me on YouTube, my peeps on Facebook, everyone at the House of Nonum Sports in Hollywoodland. It is the DOUG here for his NBA second round, also known as the Conference Semifinals picks. Now, of course, once again, we're going to be making these picks where I play some Mortal Kombat. Now, just to give a quick recap of the first round, Atlanta beat Brooklyn 4-2. Washington swept Toronto 4-0. Chicago beat Milwaukee, who was shocking everyone, winning, getting at least 2 wins over Chicago. But Chicago beat the living daylights out of them this past week, dominating, and I do mean dominating, the last game with about 50 some odd point victory. And then, of course, Cleveland swept Boston. Over in the Western Conference, Golden State swept New Orleans. Memphis beat Portland 4-1. The Clippers just beat San Antonio last night. Was probably the best round 1 series in the history. Beat my Dallas Mavericks, but my Mavericks did avoid the sweep, losing 4-1. So let's get to these conference semifinals, which should be very interesting. And of course, we're going to be talking about the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Washington Wizards, which starts today at 1 o'clock. Now, Hawks won the regular season series 3-1. One cheat time. But this is the 5th playoff meeting between these two teams, with the Wizards, back then known as the Bullets, winning 3 of the first 4 meetings. Now, while Atlanta does have the home field advantage in this situation, the Wizards overall have a better team in my eyes with bigger name stars. So this one's very hard for me to make a pick on. I've been trying to think who to pick on this one, and I'm going to take, believe it or not, I'm taking, and probably somewhat of an upset maybe, I'm taking the Washington Wizards here. I just trust them more. They seem to be the better team to me in this point of view. You know, so I do think Atlanta's going to make it interesting, but I think Washington will win the series in 6 games. Like I said, the first game is today at 1 o'clock on ABC. Moving on to the other side, interesting things are developing here. Cleveland Cavaliers. By the way, I should mention the last playoff meeting between the Washington and Atlanta was back in 1979, the Eastern Conference Semifinals. Washington won that 4-3. So just a little bit of history there for you, folks. Don't say I don't believe in giving you history. Moving on, Cavaliers take on Chicago. And brutality, nope. Instead, fatality. Cleveland Cavaliers take on Chicago. This series starts tomorrow at 7 o'clock on TNT. Please check your local listings for that. Now, Cleveland won the regular series this season 3-1, and this is the 7th playoff meeting between these two teams, with the Bulls winning 5 of the first 6 meetings. Chicago leads the series 5-1. Last playoff meeting was in the 2010 Eastern Conference first round. That was the first and only time Cleveland actually won against Chicago, winning 4-1 back in 2010, back when they still had LeBron at that time. This is interesting because the Cavs, who are the better team on paper here, the problem is they are missing Kevin Love, who got hurt in the last series against Boston. A dirty foul, by the way, in my humble opinion. Everyone's trying to figure out, can they win the championship without Kevin Love? I don't know if they can or not. You know, I mean, because, you know, LeBron's great and all that. You know, he is one of the best, but I don't know if he can win a championship on his own. That's going to be the question. Fatality. So this one's another hard pick. I'm going to take Chicago on this one. Why I think this would be a 7-game series. Chicago, I think, has the better shot because they actually have a third man. Cleveland, you're going to need that bench of yours, which is kind of weak, to step up in the place of Kevin Love, who is out hurt right now. It will be interesting to see if Cleveland, if they do advance, if they can, key word here, if they can win the championship without Kevin Love. Now, of course, this brings up the question, will Kevin Love leave Cleveland after this season is over, once the playoffs are done? I think he's going to. The only way I presume he stays if he wants to try one more time to win a championship. But if he goes for the money, I think he's going to leave. But it will be interesting to see what he does when we get to it. Moving over to the Western Conference now. Web Tower, stop being a dick. Of course, we just saw San Antonio be eliminated, so we're going to have a new champion this year. And I think they said the 5th time that a defending champion has been eliminated in the first round. So that's kind of interesting to know. I did not know that till last night. Portal, Guanchi wins. And of course, we're going to talk about the first one, Memphis. Memphis Grizzlies will take on the Golden State Warriors. That game starts today at 3:30 on ABC, and it will be in Oakland, California, since it is the fuck it, Lake Sweep. Golden State has home field. Now, what's interesting here? What is very interesting? Golden State won the regular season series 2-1, and this is the first, believe it or not, first playoff meeting between these two teams. So you can't base anything on previous history. Now I think this is going to be a tough test for Golden State. Golden State, this is the first, don't get me wrong, no, Pelicans, you're a good team, but compared to Golden State, you're not. I think Memphis can steal a game, but the only way Memphis is going to win this series, they're going to have to win one of the first 2 games in Golden State. If they don't, they're pretty much screwed. Ow. You know, so, and I'm going to take Golden State on this one. I think it's going to be an interesting series. I think it's going to go to 6. You know, I think Memphis will get at least the 2 wins in their home area, but after that, I think Golden State would just come back and win the next 2. So I hope Memphis just gives them a good fight, because, you know, yeah, I know, I'm doing the dragon thing. Moving on, the Clippers take on the Houston Rockets. Now, of course, Houston is the home field team. This series starts tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. on TNT. Please check your local listings for the time in your area. This one's another tough one. While the Clippers are not coming off a long rest, but you know, they just beat the defending champion, so there's going to be momentum there. Brutality. Of course, Houston beat my Mavericks, and Houston's been playing pretty well. Now, they tied during the regular season going 2-2, and this is only the 2nd time they faced off in the playoffs. Last time they faced off was back in 1993 of the Eastern Conference first round. Houston won that 3-1. So now here, this is a hard pick for me as well. That's what's been interesting about these conference semifinals. All the picks are difficult. There's no easy way you can say, oh, except maybe Golden State. All of them have been difficult. As much as I want to pick Houston, I'm going to go with the Clippers on this one. Clippers just did beat San Antonio last night in what was a great Game 7. Better than that pathetic boxing match that everyone who, if you did spend the $100 to see, I apologize, because you pretty much saw crap. Juggle combat. Yeah, this is just unfair. Quan Chi just got uppercutted repeatedly. And he's dead. Oh, no, he's not. Crap. Yeah, I'm taking the Clippers. They just beat San Antonio. Now, of course, you can make the argument that Houston has more days of rest, which is true. Houston's got more rest. But they don't exactly have momentum here. You know, they beat the Mavericks, who, yes, the Mavericks are my team. Let's be perfectly honest here, the Mavericks fucking suck this year. We barely made it into the playoffs, you know. So, I'm sure a lot of people want to take Houston on this one, but I gotta go with the team that just defeated the defending champions. You know, that's the way my mind's working right now, so hopefully that's the way it goes. So just as a recap... Ah, crap. Punchy. I'm supposed to do that to you, not me. Now, get in this portal and take a bath. So, my picks, just to go over them one more time before I go. I have... yeah. This is why I need to write them down. I have Washington, Chicago, Golden State, and the Clippers advancing to the next round. Let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree? So, yeah, there's that. Let me know what you think of disagree or disagree. By the way, just a little side notes from the first round. In case anybody, the first one ended up the best of 7 series back in 2003. The 5th seed defeated the 4th seed in both conferences for the 3rd straight year in a row, and Game 7 between the Los Angeles Clippers and San Antonio Spurs ensured a 16th straight postseason in which at least one Game 7 was played. 1999 was the last postseason to not feature a Game 7. So it's been a long time. But hey, we saw Game 7. You know, everyone loves Game 7s. I don't care who you are. I'm hoping we're going to see some of that this